It's podcast number 26. What's up,
Very cool.
Larry?
So,
Alright,
nothing much.
not much.
I
Yeah,
mean, just been working a lot,
nice,
especially like now that school's over.
nice. Last Friday was like getting close to the time, and I was like, Larry hasn't said anything all week, and I was like, man, I don't wanna bother him for some reason. And then my sister was like, yo, I'm moving out in a week, let's hang out. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing that. And then I lost track of time, so we just played board games.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah. That was fun.
Oh, it's
Yes.
starting to get really hot,
Yeah, it really is.
but like
Hopefully on my end it's not too loud, but I have a fan pointed at me, 'cause
I don't hear it.
okay,
So
that's good. All right. Yeah. Yeah, like last week, I guess. I or in the last week, I I got into a Discord group that has a
mhm.
bunch of small streamers, and it's
Oh,
basically like a support group where like you like support each other and stuff. Like
like how?
like everyone posts their thing. It's just like it's kind of like a group chat on Discord, and it's just like
It's
people
pretty.
talking, and it's like connecting with small streamers. I think they said they put the group together like a week, like 2 weeks ago, and they already got like 4 people with affiliate status.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty hype.
So how
So
much
yeah.
have you been streaming recently?
I got I streamed last night,
Oh, okay.
and then uh Friday I think I streamed. I was
Hmm.
working Saturday, so yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to stream more, but this week's been busy 'cause I officially graduated.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
very cool.
so I had to do that. So like yesterday I was busy with that 'cause I didn't walk. So my parents were like disappointed. So I was like, "Oh crap." So we were like, "Okay, compromise. We're going to go to a very nice park and take a bunch of pictures for people."
Okay.
So did that for like an hour and then went to the Olive Garden 'cause
I haven't been to Olive Garden in so long.
it's one of those places where it's like not too fancy, but fancy enough that like, it satisfies.
Yeah, it's like very all right.
So yeah, so that and then I came home and or no, that was Wednesday. Yeah. And then Wednesday and then my my sister had to take a flight for work
Hmm.
on Wednesday night. So, and then her flight kept getting delayed, so I was waiting. My dad originally was like, "Yo, I'll take you." And then it got delayed and he's like, "Your brother's taking you." And I was like, "Oh boy." So, that was fun. So, I was like just waiting. And so we went cuz there's an Olive Garden behind my house,
Hmm.
and so we went there and then uh I get cuz my sister's flight got delayed and they were like, "You want dessert?" And I was like, "Don't really want to spend $7 for a slice of cheesecake." So I was like, "Yo, let's go across the street to get frozen yogurt."
Oh, yeah, it's worth.
Froyo's good. And then we were like, "Okay, we're going home." And my brother was like, or I asked my brother, I'm like, "Yo, you want to go to GameStop? It's in that plaza." And he was like, "Let's do it." So, so we went from Froyo to GameStop, and yeah. Oh boy. Oh, okay. My sister's like, I don't know if there's a delay today. Waiting for that update. But yeah. But so then we went GameStop, and then we were looking through like the under $10 bin,
Okay, yeah.
and we that's where we found the Kinect Star Wars game. That's
Dude,
why I
that's the
posted
best
that picture in
game.
the group
It's
chat.
so good.
I was
It's
like,
Han Solo.
yeah.
Han
I
Solo.
remember I rented it when it came, cause it
Han
came out when
Solo.
Blockbuster was still a thing,
Oh,
and it was like the summer, and I had a membership. I was like, this is I was like, let's do it. It's a Star Wars game. I have a Kinect. I'm excited. And I
Got
played it,
baited.
and I played it for like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, that was not bad. And then we returned it and got a better game. So we, yeah. And then my brother was like, dude, the Han Solo. Okay, so we started doing it, and it's pretty fun. And then my sister is like into Dance Central in those games.
Hmm.
So we were like, hey, since you have a flight delay, let's play that. So we played that. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Well, for everyone who doesn't know, this game is not an actual Star Wars game. It's just Dance Central, but
Well,
Star Wars themed.
one mode of it is dancing, another one is just like hand waving lightsabers, and there's pod racing. I haven't gotten to
What the
pod
heck?
racing yet, but
Hilarious.
yeah, it's hilarious. I'm excited. The only thing is, the game came out during, I think, like the middle of the Xbox 360 cycle. One sec, one sec. Bangkok.
What up? What?
One sec.
All right.
Alright. Hey, sorry about that.
All good.
My sister's coming in from her flight today, so
Okay.
figuring, yeah, that's why we're recording early. I was like, I don't want to be in the middle because she's on American Airlines, and that's not reliable for
Can come in at any time.
yeah, consistency, you know. So yeah, so I had to pick her up, and yeah, my dad was like, hey, make sure when you pick her up, you let me know. So yeah, but yeah, the Star Wars game, I'm excited. The only thing is, there's a bunch of like wasted time, like animations. So it'll be like you start
Oh,
the dance, and it'll be like, what's his name? Lando, I think.
yeah.
He'll have like a 5 second dialogue every time it changes. You start the song, he talks for like 5 seconds, and then you start the song, and then
Oh,
you end the song, he talks for another 5 seconds, and when you pick a new or you go to a different menu, C3PO talks for like 5 seconds.
okay. So
There's just
every time
so
you like
much.
try to do something,
Yeah, anytime you
uh,
transition to something, there's like so much downtime. But yeah, other than that, I'm excited.
pretty fun game. It's pretty old, but it's hilarious.
I just messaged in the group chat. Anybody got to connect? Or I posted a picture, and then Yvonne and Daniel both responded right away. I'm solo. Or
Of
I'm
course.
Han Solo. I was like,
Solo.
I expect nothing more.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah. How's no school so far?
Been all right. I mean, just been working. I hasn't been
Uh,
doing much. So, I I think it's been pretty fun.
no.
Um, like just go to work, go home. But this week of work was like pretty crazy.
Oh
Like,
really?
so the VP of
Mm.
like Panda Corporation is was gonna come in.
Oh.
So he's in Arizona,
Mhm.
and then he was like visiting a few stores, and then so like we had to prep, right? So like gotta make sure everything's clean. So like we're was cleaning everything like, and then Tuesday night, so he was gonna come in. No, he's gonna come in. He said he was gonna come in Wednesday, so he cleaned everything, and then Wednesday he didn't come in. All right. Yeah, he's like he's gonna come Thursday. He's like, all right. He said he's gonna come Thursday. We got it. And then so one of our general manager people sent us this picture of our fridge, of our fridge, and it's like all pretty and stuff. Like, and we're like, all right, we're gonna do that. So we stayed up. We I was always still work till 4:30.
Mhm.
Yesterday. No wait. No, on Wednesday. So I was only still 4:30 because we're prepping for yesterday,
Mhm.
and we actually stayed till 1
Oh,
in the
jeez.
morning.
Oh, wow.
So after 4:30, my shift ends basically.
Mm-hmm.
But I just stayed in the back and like helped prep like all the vegetables and stuff, cut all the
Yeah.
vegetables. That's like my first full shift, like working in the back, and
Mm-hmm.
I managed to cut myself twice.
Oh.
Like the knives at Panda are super sharp, like they're so nice, beautiful. But I'm not used to them,
Oh, yeah.
so I was cutting string bean, and then I actually chopped off a little bit of my fingertip.
Oh.
And string bean is like the worst to prep. It's like actually, I
How
mean,
bad is it right now?
it's all right. It's almost healed actually. I only lopped off a little bit.
Ah.
And then I was washing a different knife.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the same knife. I don't know. And then I accidentally like sliced my finger, like on the
Oh.
other hand. So, but that one's almost healed too. So like,
Did the VP come in during that? Oh, God.
no, no, no. That would be so. It's like, what's this guy doing? Why just cutting himself? But like, yeah, just like prepping and stuff. Like, and so we stayed till 1, and then so like in the fridge, like
Mm-hmm.
all the customers can see all the boxes of vegetables and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's fresh and like it's
Mm-hmm.
actually like super fresh.
Nice.
And but like we made like checkers with the zucchini in the front, and like we made like a checkerboard pattern. We made like the onions look like stacked up and like really nice. We like stacked up all the front of the fridge and like we cleaned it up and stuff. So like it looked really clean. And then the next day, BP doesn't come in,
Oh, man.
so he never came.
Oh, no.
Apparently, if the stores he visits before us are bad, he won't come.
Oh.
And I guess they were bad,
Oh,
so
boy.
he never showed up. So it's just like, man, did all this work, stayed up till 1. Oh well, at least I got paid for it.
Nice.
Like it was fun to like chop stuff and then yesterday like I ended up like learning how to cook a lot of food.
Oh,
Like
are they putting you on the
like
in the
I
back now?
like we had like a lot of people in the front, and
Mm-hmm.
like the back's a lot harder, and like kitchen
Uh,
works a lot harder. And sort of like we kind of need more people to work back here, and like it's fun. So like I get
uh,
to learn. So
oh,
like
did you volunteer? Were they like, yo, Larry, you're Asian?
I mostly volunteered, but yeah, it's just like yeah, I volunteered basically,
Nice.
and like I like cooking, so like I
Mm-hmm.
learned how to like cook orange chicken, like the appetizers and stuff really easy, and like kind of learn how to cook like the sweet fire chicken and whatnot.
Uh,
There's just like a lot of steps when like trying to learn how to like actually do it.
are the appetizers pre-made or do you actually have to make them?
They're pre-made.
Oh, okay.
They'll take so long
Yeah,
because like
yeah,
ragoons are like 3, right? So like if
yeah,
imagine like if you had to like fill each crust thing with like
yeah,
cheese, fold it up, and like that would take so long.
yeah.
Like
I
we
know.
already have enough like vegetable prep.
Yeah, 'cause when my mom like makes egg rolls for like prep, it takes her like at least half an hour to get like 300 egg rolls worth of like
Mm.
stuffing, half an hour to like getting everything, and that's like all of us grating vegetables for her.
Yeah, we
So
don't have
yeah,
time for that.
yeah, okay.
They're all pre-made, but like
Hmm.
they still taste good.
Yeah.
I mean like if I'm like making egg roll, like I'm eating dumplings right now.
Hmm.
Like I don't know if they're pre-made. They're really salty naturally, but like for like food, like you like made too much of and you don't want to make it, you just kind of put it in the
Hmm.
freezer anyway. So like it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Okay. And then I guess do you feel like you're learning stuff from working in the back, like cooking stuff, or just
Yeah, or
recipes?
I guess kind of. I mean, it's like nothing new,
Oh, okay.
but I think like the hardest part is like learning like the motions.
Uh-huh.
It's like because like orange chicken, you're cooking like it's at 24 ounces of orange chicken, so that's I don't actually it might be more. There's like 2 pounds of orange chicken
Mm-hmm.
on your wok, plus
Uh,
like sauce and stuff, and it's
mm-hmm.
like really heavy, and like you're
Uh,
trying to flip it like multiple times. So like
mm-hmm.
I think that's like the hardest part, and like trying to put the chicken into the dish.
Mm-hmm. At least you're getting experience.
Yeah, I'm like learning how to do it and stuff. My forearms are getting big. Let's go.
It's like Karate Kid, but with with Panda.
Yeah.
You're just like, do the walk, and you're like, oh boy, I'm gonna beat someone up. Nice. Yeah. Work's been the same for me. Just like same thing. It's funny 'cause so like the physical year the we're in the new physical year for 2019, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So the or
Like after
yeah,
April.
whatever the current year is, but like the fourth quarter at on my floor, basically another building messed up, and one of the components inside a part that goes into a pacemaker, I think, like turns out they leak at high temperatures,
Oh,
so they
that's
had
not
to
good.
recall like 100,000 parts.
Oh no.
So
Oh,
they
it's just
ba
like parts and like it's not in someone.
yeah, yeah. So then they figured it out. So they were like, "Hey, your floor can run this." And we ran like so they basically were like for the last like I guess 15 weeks they were like, "Hey, like you're gonna have to do, couple hundred more parts a night." And like it was like higher numbers than like the normal high. Like
Nice.
like it was above record highs.
Oh,
So they were like, "Yeah, you're doing this." So, like everyone had to do a lot more work. And then they were like,
quality.
"Okay, well, hopefully if we get all this done by the end of the quarter, we'll be good and we'll lower the numbers." And everyone's like, "Okay." And then the new quarter comes in, they're like, "Hey, this other part, we need to be doing a lot more." So now it's just like for a different product.
Like so much work.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, we're the numbers aren't going down. It's just we're doing a different product." So that's fun.
Nice.
Yeah. It's very interesting because like I know what the products are, and then I'm like slowly learning like what they go towards, like specifically because my company does like a lot of stuff from like defibrillators to pacemakers and like a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah.
other like medical devices. So yeah, so I just know that it's a lot of stuff, and like one thing, so the things I'm trained at is I'm trained at cleaning, so I'm trained at building them, so they come in panels, and there's eight, six, and four, like parts per panel. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, so you have like we just call them by the number, so it's like
Yeah.
or it's so and then they all have their own names. So when you build them, yeah, that's it. It's like apparently one of the hardest trainings, but I find it like the easiest job because you just babysit the machine.
Oh,
So I line up all the boards and then I put them in a magazine and then I load it. I put all the information into all the computers and I just run it and then it just builds for me.
quality.
Yeah.
Easy.
And then once it gets built, like you throw it in the or it goes through an oven so like all the parts stick
Okay,
because
yeah,
you
makes
put
sense.
solder under so all the parts stick. And
Yeah.
then once it gets to that, the next person like inspects it and then you do the other side, same thing. And then like for stuff that you can't put solder under, they put another, it's called flux,
Hmm.
but I don't know specifically what it is, but it's kind of like glue.
And it just like holds
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
together.
And then they fill it with another fluid under, and then that goes into another oven for 20 minutes, and then it gets out. And then so I'm not trained in that. I'm trained in the building part, and then I'm trained in I can cut some of them from the panel to like individual chips, and then I can clean it, which just means you track everything into the area that the clean area. You put them into these carriers, so it's like 18. You can put 18 parts, 12, 15, or something like that. And then once you fill up a basket, you put it in the cleaner, and it uses vapors to clean for 30 minutes. When you're done, you pull out the basket and then you track it out. And then I'm
Hmm.
also trained in the ovens, so basically all the parts,
Ovens. You cooking?
most if not all the parts on my floor have to go through a test at the ovens where you put them in the ovens for 24 hours and it goes up to like 130 degrees Celsius. And it's basically so like if like the chip for that product, basically if it's like a pacemaker and you get a
Yeah.
defib, at that moment it'll jolt up to like super high temperatures. So if it fails
Oh,
in the ovens, then it's going to fail if that,
Okay, so it's like
or
a
under,
test
yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's like it's a layer of tests to protect,
Yeah,
to make sure like if stuff fails. Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah. So I'm trained at those. I have like the clean one is like the easiest one because you scan the part, you put it in the basket, and then you throw it in the cleaner, take it out, scan the part, put it in a box, and just send it to someone else. But yeah, I have like I think they said like two of the three hardest certifications on the floor.
Nice.
So I'm like, I'm working.
Getting stuff done.
Yeah, I'm getting stuff done. It's great. But yeah, very interesting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And then I was like, in oh, so we're technically not in ramp up mode, even though the part numbers are like still high. So they're like, everyone's like, why aren't? Because we can now train at other places.
Hmm.
So they're like, yo, why aren't you like a bunch of people asked me, they're like, why didn't you train? I was like, no one asked me. I was like, I'm not that ambitious, man.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's very interesting.
Uh, Work is
Yeah,
always fun.
yeah. It's one of yeah, the place I work at is like, I don't mind the work. It's
Hmm.
just working at night and then switching back to regulars. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
But like going from night to regular schedule is very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, are you in regular now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I finish Wednesday morning. Usually
Hmm.
that's when I stop if I don't work overtime, and then like I get home at like 6, and I'm like, oh God, 'cause if you oversleep, you can't sleep again. So
Yeah.
I have to force myself to only get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep so I can go to sleep at night.
Okay. So you
And
can
then,
like
yeah,
actually wake up in the morning.
yeah, yeah. And if I can do that right, then my Thursday will be fine. If not, like if I oversleep during Wednesday during the day, like I just can't sleep at night. So so there's been days where I'm up for like 37 hours, but I'm getting better at it, so it's not too bad. But yeah,
So, I mean, like besides work, like
yeah.
I'll have been doing like playing League.
You're back in the league?
Yeah, like we were playing Apex for a while, but then like my friends, I don't know. Well, I don't know what happened. We started playing League again, so I
Uh,
guess I'm back in the League.
nice.
Climbing is like I'm not sure if I want to like invest time into climbing,
It's not that bad. It's
but it takes
just
so much
yeah, you
time.
just gotta play a lot of games. Yeah,
Yeah,
something.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know if I want to do that.
yeah. It's funny. My Smurf, because the season started out with positional ranking,
Yeah.
so it was like every role you had to rank. So my
Oh
Smurf,
wait.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I can remember now.
and then that system was broken because they made the cutoff like Diamond 4 was when you or it was like you got up to Masters before you had to like just be any like regular solo queue. So
Interesting.
so you had a bunch of games where it was like previous season, like the last season 8, it was like Platinum 2 in a like Masters with Challenger player games, and then they were losing, and it was happening on every server. So all the high ranked players were like, "This game sucks, reset it." So that's when they
Yeah, they changed
changed
it
it
back.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
I'm
like,
currently bronze
yeah.
three
Oh God.
on solo queue.
But yeah, but one of the good and bad things was on my Smurf, I got gold. I instantly got gold in top lane, but and I was silver and everything else, so I could play with bronze. But when they reverted it back, they gave me the gold ranking on my Smurf, so
Nice.
so I can't play with Tanner on my Smurf in solo queue. So he's like, "Teach me how to play." I'm like, "All right, I'll duo with you." And it's like, "You can't do that." I was like, "All right, Tanner, you're on your own."
Oh,
Yeah. So and then I was like, "All right, Tanner, I'm gonna coach you, okay? You're gonna level up my Smurf."
oh,
And Tanner was like, "No, I only play on my account." I'm like, "T Wolfram only plays on T Wolf." I'm like, "Tanner, this is like some Karate Kid stuff, okay? You gotta trust the method." He's like, "No." I'm like, "All right, you're on your own."
nice.
Because Cause I've coached a couple people from like bronze to like gold one-ish,
Oh, nice.
and basically what how I started is I'm like, you either make a new account or you find an old Smurf that's
Yeah,
under
yeah.
30 and you grind to 30 and you literally just play to like outplay everyone. And the
Mm,
logic is it's not you treat it as not your account, so you're not emotionally invested into it. So you can just play however, but your
okay.
goal is to just be like, dude, I just got a pentakill.
Like
Plus,
get better.
yeah, plus like you get to work on your mechanics without worrying about anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no repercussions if you lose like 20 games in a row. It
Like
doesn't
whatever.
reflect on your account, yeah.
I
But I
see,
was
I see.
like, dang it, now I have to rank. Now I have to level it up. It's level 26. It's almost there, but not. So yeah, so now I have to probably gonna just like pick a day and just grind uh bots 3v3 to get the most XP.
Why? Is that how that
Yeah,
works?
yeah, that's how the math works. Because it's like you can win a bot game in like 10 minutes in a
Yeah.
3v3, and you'll get as much XP as I think a 5v5.
Oh, it's dumb.
But it's like half to a third of the time.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So yeah, so I'm probably just gonna do that, and then I'll play with Tanner. I'll be like, all right, Tanner, I'm gonna gank for you. But yeah, speaking of which, last night, so I was streaming. It was me, my friend Kyle, my
Okay.
friend Timmy, and my friend Kenny
Oh, how many followers do you have right now, by the
mm,
way?
on
On
Twitch.
Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, only 8.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been streaming a little bit also.
Mhm.
So one of my friends, Sam Lin,
Yeah.
Skyhawk634, he has been streaming,
Mhm.
and like he just started like last week or something. He has 40, and then how much
Do
do
I
I have?
do I know?
Yes,
I feel like I. Oh wait, he's one of
you
your.
probably
Oh,
before.
yeah, I think I played with him. That Skyhawk sounds familiar. It might have
Yeah,
been like one of our league sessions where you just invite a bunch of people.
probably yeah. So I
Ah,
have 7 followers,
nice.
but I haven't been streaming
Ah,
that much. So like I feel like you just stream a lot,
yeah.
post things, like you
Mhm.
should be able to get
Yeah.
followers.
Yeah. Oh, it got cloudy. It's dark in here. That's okay.
Yeah, why is it so dark in your stream?
All right, let me go fix that. Let me go check the lines. And then do do do. But yeah, yesterday we were playing five man flex. That was fun.
Yeah, I've
Oh.
actually only been playing like Law Flex because my solo is too low to
Mhm.
play with the people. So I've just been playing Flex with friends,
Ah.
like, but like we keep losing.
Oh no, I'm getting ganked by mom. 1 second.
All right.
Give me another sec. My mom wants to talk to my dad, but he didn't pick up his phone.
Okay.
Man, it's very funny. When one of them wants to call the other and they don't pick up, they call me and they're like, "Hey, where's the other parent?" I called.
Why?
They're like, "I called them and they're not picking up. Where
Oh,
are they?" And I'm like, "Well, they're at home." But yeah. So we played 5v5 last night, and it was funny because I kept joking like Tanner was the bronze and he was like, "I'm mid." I'm like, "Okay." And then one of my friends who's like plat as a support was like, "I'll jungle." I feel like it ended up into you could consider it bullying, but I kept joking. I was like, "Dude, jungle difference every time I get killed." 'Cause it would be you'd be watching it and it'd be like I'm getting like 2v1 tower dove by their mid laner, one time, and then the jungler, well, my jungler's farming, and I'm like, dude, jungle difference, come on. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
better jungle wins.
yeah, and then I picked Hecarim, and then we won the game.
Nice.
So yeah, it's very
See,
interesting.
I played a game before this podcast,
Hmm.
and like so sad. Would have won. If like our team kept stopped like extending into like
Yeah.
our jungle and 1v5 the whole time.
Hmm.
Like if we could have won so hard because our Hecarim got like super fed. I was okay, or I was supporting Sam. Sam was doing all right too, and
Hmm.
like Akali was ramping up. Timo was doing all right. Like everyone on our team was doing all right. Like we lost we lost one fight, we lost two in hit, but we're still doing fine.
Basically.
All right, and but like the team kept like running in one by one into our jungle where the enemy team was
That's
and gets
unfortunate.
insta killed.
Yeah.
I'm like, every time we team fight, we win. So let's just team fight.
Yeah.
And then
And then
1v5.
they're like, what's a team fight as they walk in 1v5? Yeah, it was funny. We lost 3 games and won one. The first game we just straight up got stomped. The second game we got slightly less stomped, but they were winning the whole game. And they broke mid inhib at like 25 minutes. The game ended at 43 minutes. We just held
Nice.
out for so long. It was funny because the enemy team was just trolling and they just kept running in one at a time. And like it got to the point where the Nexus was at like 230 HP. So like there was an issue where I was playing Alawi and I was trying to clear and I'm like, I'm out of mana, but I got minion blocked. So everyone else is like trying to clear like 3 waves of supers.
Nice. Oh wait,
Yeah, so
I'm looking at the damage charge from last game. I did
uh-huh.
more damage than their Rek'Sai and their Pike
Yeah,
as
nice.
Nami. Also did 300 less damage than Akali, our
Nice.
Akali. So,
Nice. Yeah,
but like we were winning so hard.
yeah,
Like, why you throw?
yeah. It's very funny though. One of my friend Kenny, he's very easy to, I guess, poke fun at
Yes.
because you get an easy reaction out of him. And I forget that, like, and like we troll around in our group. It's everyone's like, no one
Yeah.
takes it personal. It's just like
Yeah.
nice meme.
Just me.
Yeah, they're like nice meme, dude. And then they make a meme back. And then I forget Kenny's just like just stops talking. And usually if someone's like, "Hey, can you stop?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. He's good." You know. Or he's like, "I'll stop." So he's good. But if you don't, I'm like, "Oh, maybe, I can still be funny."
Yeah.
So yeah, I just tilted him. And then my friend after was like, "Don't get this wrong, but you and Kyle always end up, you know, ragging on him all game when he doesn't do well." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you got a good point. That I might just feel it might just be bullying at that point."
Nice.
So yeah, yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Dude. Oh,
yeah,
what a fun game.
yeah. It's such a
I think
great
like
game.
after not playing it for a while, it's like, oh, this is pretty good.
It's one of those games when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
Yeah, I thought I was out forever.
Yeah,
I
my
was wrong.
yeah, my friend Kyle's on like his fourth time quitting,
Nice.
and then he came back, so we're good.
So dumb.
Yeah, we like when he quit, it was like we got smashed like 5 games in a row, and he's like, "I'm done. I'm uninstalling." So he did, and then I was like, "Dude, check out my stream." And then he was like, "What are these play?" He watched for like 3 days, and then he reinstalled, and he's like, "I'm back." And that's like the third time he's quit. So,
Quality.
so yeah, the game keeps bringing you back. So yeah,
I mean,
anything,
game is
anything
fun.
else new? All right, bad Ed.
What else did I do?
Yeah,
I
anything else?
mean, I've been going to the gym more, or trying
Ah,
to.
nice.
Been going pretty well.
Mhm,
But so with me and like a few people, I've been trying to like run a mile like
mhm.
every time we go.
Ah,
and then we did it a few times, and then we realized that like there's better exercises for this, like
Yeah.
with just cardio. So like we started
Mhm.
doing elliptical. There's this exercise elliptical machine, and it tells you like like kind of what to do as you're on the elliptical. So like it tells you like to lean back as you're like ellipticaling, or like squat, and like it tells you how fast to go,
Mhm.
or like go in reverse and stuff. And like it's so hard. Like my thighs are like broken.
Nice. Yeah, it's very funny at work. I'm like, well, I can't do taekwondo. So like when you build, you have like for for the solder to get on the board at specific parts, they have like stencils. So only
Yeah.
push on that. So you gotta go in the clean room and you gotta clean it for like 2 minutes. So you throw it in the machine. I'm like, you know what? Every time I'm in here, I'll just start squatting.
I
'Cause like no one can see. So I'm just like, I throw it in. I have to stand there for 2 minutes and wait. So I'm like, I'll just
do
squat.
squats.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I'll do 10. And I was like, dude, 10 is easy. I'll do another 10. When I got to 30, I'm like, oh boy, I forgot. I smashed my knee.
Yeah, you have like joint injuries and stuff. Like
Yeah,
squats are garbage.
yeah. It wasn't too bad. The first 20, I'm like, dude, I don't feel anything. And it was like, oh yeah, at some point this week I smashed my knee. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So I stopped. Yeah. I'm like on the fence of getting a gym membership because like,
Love to. They're so fun.
yeah, I'm
Just like
like,
lifting is like
yeah,
so satisfying.
yeah. I'm like, I don't want to go alone.
I mean, I
But
can go
so
with
the,
you.
yeah, so the thing is like planning, seeing like, cause yeah, are you still going to EOS?
Yeah.
Yeah, cause my sister goes there, and I'm like, I might as well get a membership. But the thing is, like, I work 3 days a week and 4 days a week. So like on my off days, gotta get, you know,
Yeah. I
make
mean,
sure I
like
get time to go, cause it's
I
kind of a
go after
waste.
work a lot,
Yeah,
and like just like when I have time, I go.
yeah, cause my evenings on Wednesday and Thursday are booked up for Taekwondo.
Hmm.
So it's like, gotta find time to go to the gym before that, cause I'm there from like 5 to like 8:30, and then after you're there for like 3 hours, you don't really want to go to the gym.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, but planning summer, so summer is the time to do it. So yeah,
But I've just been like actually just like lifting, and like
uh-huh.
after like you lift and like you go like you need like after you get home take a shower, it's like so nice.
Oh yeah,
Like one, the shower is really nice, and
yeah,
also like you you're in the bathroom, take off your shirt, you're like heck yeah, let's go. Like you see like your muscles, like especially like, after you do chest,
hmm
like you see your like
oh
your
yeah,
chest
it's
like
like,
so defined,
oh yeah,
so beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah. So like it does feel really good, and then like my legs are like after standing for so long at Panda, like I have like big calves and thighs.
yeah. So do you go to the
Like
gym for like health or for gains?
for gains. And like,
Okay.
oh, I do cardio for like health, but
Oh, okay.
my heart's like weak.
Uh-huh.
But um, like mostly gains,
Okay.
and I think it's fun.
All right. Might try to go with you. Because another thing is, I tend to start out doing weights correctly, and then
Yeah,
after repetition, it technique and form decline.
yeah, you can't do
Yeah,
that. One, you'll
yeah,
hurt yourself, and two, it's like
yeah,
not as effective.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's just like I'm going through it, and then it's like, you feel tired, but you're like, okay, I'll do another rep, and then it's like,
Yeah,
oh crap, you're losing it. So I need someone who's there to be like, dude, you're doing it wrong.
yeah, you gotta keep going all the way.
Yeah,
Like if you
yeah,
can't do it, you can just that's fine. But like
yeah,
if you do it wrong, like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna hurt yourself.
But it'd be like I can physically I can do it, but like when you're just going through enough,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, cause cause
Push
like
those limits.
yeah, cause I don't do it frequently enough that I'm like muscle memory for form.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I need someone there to be like, dude, you're doing it wrong. This is how you do it. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then my brain will be like, yes, that's what you need to do. So
Yes.
yeah, man, you watch any movies?
Not recently. I haven't watched Endgame yet.
Oh yeah, I haven't either. I'm like, yeah, my sister was like, we could go. I'm like, I don't want to sit for 3 hours and watch this movie. It was like after Taekwondo, well, last week, like when we trained, and she's like, we could go. It's like in 40 minutes. I'm like, I don't want to go home, shower, and run to the movie theater to get a bad seat. Because the movie theater right behind my house, I think, doesn't have assigned seating.
Oh, so you're just gonna sit
Yeah, so
wherever.
you just get a ticket and you hope you get there early enough. So I was like, bro, I don't want to do that. I'll wait. So
Oh,
yeah,
I still haven't like had a
yeah,
time to choose.
yeah. I'm like, okay, we'll pick a day. I told my sister, I'm like, we'll pick a day. We'll go watch Endgame and just do it. Cause I don't really mind spoilers, you know,
Oh,
cause I like kind of read the Marvel comics, so I have a general idea of what's gonna happen. And it's one of those like in the comics, the long ones like Superman, all those, like it's the end of an arc, and then basically they're gonna reboot. I already know that, so I'm like I'm anticipating what's gonna happen. Because a lot of comic stuff is like they'll run like a huge story arc for a couple years, and then they're like, dude, we keep losing people because people start, everyone gets hyped for a new arc, and then it gets more hardcore. So like less people like will start buying more issues. So they get to like this huge point in the story, or you'll get people who are super invested, and then they're like, this story's done, and they're like, okay, I'm done. So they gotta reboot it. So I'm assuming
uh-huh.
that's what's gonna happen in Endgame at the end.
I have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on.
Oh, okay.
So,
So yeah, so I'm just like, all right, I'll wait. But yeah, my sister's like, I don't like spoilers, so she's like, I need to go see it now, because all her coworkers are like, dude, this movie's great, and she's like, spoilers. So we gotta go sooner than later. But yeah, another movie we already have planned, because my mom, I don't remember if I told you, I probably told you, she's like super huge into Pokemon Go,
mhm.
and
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, and she like the growing up when we played Pokemon, the only thing she remembered was Pikachu. So, like,
Okay.
it's just funny because in Pokemon Go, like, anytime she finds a Pikachu, she's like, "Oh my God, it's a Pikachu! It's a
Wow.
Pikachu!" So, yeah.
Amazing.
So Detective Pikachu's coming out. So all of
I
the
thought it was already out, right?
oh well, it's out. I think it was out today. It
Okay.
comes out today, either today or
With
yesterday. But like,
Ryan.
we're like, yeah, Ryan Reynolds. We're like, okay, we're gonna go watch this with her. So they were like, yeah, in 2 weeks we're going. Because in 2 weeks I don't work on Saturday. They're like, yeah, we're doing
Nice.
it. Apologies for the lighting in the background. The sun is being Arizona sun.
Already.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited. Are you gonna watch Detective Pikachu?
Uh, should have no idea.
Apparently from all the people who have seen it, they said it's a good movie.
It
Yeah,
looks pretty cute.
yeah,
I'll probably watch it sometime.
yeah. I was like, when I first heard of it, I was like, oh no, it's gonna look like what I thought what Sonic first looked like. So I was like, oh God, Pikachu looks okay, but they're gonna like have some some hyper realistic Pokemon, and it's gonna be like, dude, what's all this muck doing here?
Okay,
You
so
know?
I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, should be a fun movie. My sister was getting hyped on it, and she was like, I found this interview of Ryan Reynolds where he was like method acting, and they were like, you know what?
Oh,
Yeah,
I know
he's
what
like,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
he's
Yeah.
like, when I got the role, I was like, he was on his way to pick up his kids, and he's like, I don't have to pick up kids. Pikachu doesn't have kids. And then it cuts to his wife, and she's like, yeah, he didn't pick up the kids. So
Already.
he was like, gotta live like Pikachu for 3 months. So he seems invested into this franchise, into this role. So I'm excited.
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Should be a fun movie. Let me look up. Oh shoot. Oh no, when was the Detective Pikachu? Oh dude, tomorrow there's gonna be a peek at a Target.
What's
Pokemon and
happening in Target?
Target, like when Pokemon stuff comes out, Target has like these free day events. So
Oh,
like I think the last time, oh dude, it's gonna be it's so it was or for when the DS I think it was like 2 DS games ago. They had an event at Walmart where you go in, you get like a poster, and they give you like a trading card.
oh, that's cool.
So I went to like 2 different Targets. Yeah, they were one of them. They
Quality.
were like, yeah, we ran out of posters, so here's just the card. I was like, oh boy. So yeah, it was during during App Maker Pro, that project. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there was like 2 Targets on the way to my house, so I was like, oh, I'll just stop by both. And they were like, yeah, all the little kids took the posters, so here's the card. And I was like, sweet. Yeah, and then I gave my brother the poster, and I gave my sister the Pikachu card, and I was like, here's mom, have a Pikachu card. She's like, it's cool, but I don't play this game. I'm like, none of us play this game.
Yes.
So she gave it to my brother, and I'm like, okay, nice. So the thing is, it's a Psyduck, but from the movie.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So targets 11 or 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Get a free Pikachu card and a poster. And if you're playing Pokemon or Pokemon Let's Go, you get a shiny Pikachu or a shiny Eevee. That'll be
Oh,
cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a shame I don't have or my brother bought a Switch, but I'm like, I don't
Hmm.
really care to play the Switch. So,
I have a Switch just for Smash.
yeah. Oh yeah. You
Yeah,
need
mostly.
to send okay, wait, can you place you can play friends on Smash, right? Online?
Yeah, yeah.
You should hit me up with your username and then I'll have him 1v1 you and I can record it
Sure.
cuz I bought the capture device to record comp
Oh,
stuff. So,
nice.
yeah, so I can record Switch stuff.
Man, online is actually so bad though.
Yeah. Apparently my brother said he got matched against a pro player. He beat him once and then proceeded to get destroyed by the pro player over and over again.
Nice. That's fun.
I don't know who, so I'm assuming it's like a not highly ranked pro player,
Oh,
but yeah.
I mean, they're. I think it's fun either way.
Yeah.
Like once at a weekly,
Mhm.
I was playing Melee, and La Luna, if you guys know who he is, he was ranked number 19 at the time,
Mhm.
and like it was at the weekly, so like I got to play against him, and no one else was playing, so I just kept getting smashed by him.
Uh-huh.
It was actually really fun. So I had a good time.
Nice. Are you good at Smash?
No, not that good,
Uh,
but like I know what's going on and stuff, but I wouldn't say I'm good.
okay. I used to be decent at Melee,
Uh huh.
but like I used this is like a long time ago when it was just the GameCube out. I used to like 1v1 level 10 bots and like set goals of like you can't lose like you can only get to this percentage. And I was like, dude, I'm so good at this game. And then I started playing other games and I'm like, I don't want to play Smash anymore. And then I saw pros and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch the good people.
You're actually so good, and like
Yeah,
competitive Melee is so
yeah.
fun. Anyone
And I'm like,
competitive.
I can't physically make the character move the way he does, and I
And
don't
it's a
want to
lot of
invest.
practice.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to invest the time to get that good. So,
I think like Smash Ultimate's like movement is a lot easier,
yeah,
and so like I've been getting like pretty good at it, or I've
yeah.
been getting better at it.
It's very funny though, because before the game came out, my brother was like, "You're good at coaching people." I'm like, "I'm okay." He's like, "Can you coach me in Smash?" I'm like, "I mean, sure." But I think what he actually wanted was me to just tell him he was doing stuff correctly. But I was like,
Right.
because there's like that when you play online, there's like that load time in the middle.
Yeah.
I was like, you should literally just work on edge grabs, your movement. I was like,
Oh. I mean, like you work on a
yeah,
lot of things you need to like
yeah,
work on are like recovering from
yeah,
ledge,
yeah. That's what I
like
mean. It's like ledge,
how your
ledge
options. So
control.
like
Yeah.
you can do like aerials off the ledge, like
Hmm.
practicing which aerial to do,
Yeah.
and like also like edge guarding is like very important, and like
Yeah.
edge ledge trapping, I guess.
Yeah.
So you
Cause,
could do all.
'Cause it's like you get matched against like an AI first before you match someone. And I
Hmm.
was like, you should literally just be doing that. Cause all he was doing was he was setting up like, the combos to like to whatever the to like up air
Yeah.
into knockout. I was like, you don't need to work on that. You literally do that during the match. So I'm like, practicing that doesn't really improve anything because you're already practicing it. I was like, work on the stuff that you don't like you will need but doesn't
But
occur as often.
I guess like even like that's called labbing,
Yeah,
and like labbing
yeah,
is actually so difficult
yeah,
if you're not a genius,
yeah, 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 but
because like trying to like figure out what situation is gonna
yeah,
occur while the opponent is moving is so
yeah,
difficult.
yeah. But the thing is just like my concept was like you have I was explaining to him like you have the basics down, so you need to move to like the more advanced fundamentals because like if you have
Yeah,
that down, then you can apply it in different situations without having to practice the individual situation every time. Like if you know how to move your
that's
character
true. Yeah,
on
uh,
like
a
stuff
big part
like
is like trying to figure out like
yeah
learning how to move.
yeah once you know how to control your character properly, you know all the
Yeah,
different
you can
situations,
figure it
then
out.
you can in the moment like make that decision without having to think about how to control the ledge or something like that.
Yeah,
You just know how to do it. And he was like, okay, and he didn't do it. I was like, all right. Yeah,
quality.
yeah. I'm like, yeah. That's the thing I've noticed is that a lot of people like I think we've talked about this before, but it's like people they want to get good, but they don't have the discipline to get good.
Uh huh.
Where like you don't people are they're like I'm just gonna play and I'm gonna get better, but they don't bother to practice like the minutia of what they're trying to get good at.
Yeah, I mean like for me like all I practice is like a few combo stuff,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
practice like movement and
yeah,
character, trying to like figure out how to get back on the ledge.
yeah. But like my brother legitimately wants to go to Smash tournaments, and I'm like, you need to work on these things, because like in sports, like the best basketball players will spend hours literally just you know practice shooting from different points, like after they're done with regular practice and stuff like that, because they want to hone in their fundamentals. And I'm like, that's what you need to do if you want. Like, there's a difference between like wanting something versus doing something
Yeah, and like
kind of
actually
thing.
like
Yeah,
trying to be good at it and
yeah.
stuff.
And it's like typically that's the boring stuff. So I'm like, you gotta get the boring stuff to get good.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
like it also depends on the game. Like from like Smash, like it's very obvious to me like what you should be working on,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like for like League, like
hmm
I don't know what
yeah.
to do in my life.
You want to get good at League? Do the 1v0 practice. You're just farming.
Yeah, I mean like
Same thing,
yeah, I
yeah,
can like
yeah,
practice farming, but like
yeah,
other than that, like what do I do?
yeah. So you practice farming, and then you get someone, you practice 1v1. Just like you set objectives. You're like, you play matchups, the good matchups and the bad matchups, and you're like, okay, you set an objective of like, all right, you need to hit this CS by this time without anyone,
Yeah,
and then once you get to that point, you can hit that consistently. Then you move on to, all right, someone else is gonna 1v1 you, and then you set like extra conditions of like, okay, the other guy's just trying to kill you, hit that CS, or like you have to kill that guy and he's trying to CS, and you just mix that up. But
yeah,
yeah. And it's also I think League though is like what unless you once you hit unless you're like challenger level, you can kind of skip certain stuff and just like substitute playing the game for
why?
experience.
I guess, but
Cause
Yeah, I don't, like there's not like a lot of like active stuff
oh
like mechanic wise, like a lot of it is like reaction time, like learning how to
yeah,
position and like
yeah,
move and like what objectives to take. And it's not like very obvious to me. Like these are things I need to work on,
yeah,
like how to
yeah,
work on. Whereas in like melee, like yes, there's like positioning and stuff,
hmm
but like a lot of it is like controlling your
yeah.
character and like getting good at like inputs and stuff.
So if you're interested in getting good at League or improving at League, you can stream your gameplay.
Oh, and then like watch it to
Yeah,
make sure
and then
you don't suck.
yeah. Well, you can stream it and then I'll just watch the VOD and then I can
Yeah,
I can like picture in picture and just be like this like what do you do, you know?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
a lot of it
And then
is
so
it's
much work.
yeah, it's decision making more
Yeah.
than like actual raw mechanics. Because because if you're bronze, the other guy's also bronze. So most of the time, if you're the smarter player, you'll win.
Yeah, like
Mechanics don't really factor until you hit like plat, because the other guy could be better than you, but if you just take better trades, like it doesn't matter.
mhm.
Simple stuff like if you're playing, say like you're playing Yasuo into Fiddle, and Fiddle knows how to use the E, you can't win. But if Fiddle like tries to go for long W's to get the heal up, you're out of mana, and then you can't trade, so the Yasuo will just win. Those kind of things. So yeah,
Yeah. So
stuff
like
like that.
the gameplay is just like so different.
Yeah. So if you're down, I can help you.
So much work
I could be your coach.
watching things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also another thing is just watching your replay. I'm running into that right now. There's a kid at Taekwondo where I'm like kind of coaching him. So he just had his second tournament. The first one, like basically he went against like people who were way worse than him, so he won two
Yeah.
super convincingly. And then the tournament we just had like 2 weeks ago, he got like utterly smashed by like a kid on the national team.
Nice.
So the score was like 1-20, and then like the kid like just smashed his Filtrum with a kick to the face. So he had a nosebleed for like 15 minutes, so they had to call the match off. So I'm running in, yeah, now I'm like,
Wait.
now we have to go back and check. I recorded it, so I'm like, we're going back, checking the footage. This is what you're doing wrong. This is what you need to work on, stuff like that. So I'm
Okay.
perfectly down to, if you're interested, I'll coach you.
It's too much work.
Ah,
I'm proud to play other games.
okay. That works. Yeah, that's another issue. You gotta commit time.
Like, do I really
Yeah,
want to commit so much
yeah,
time into this game?
yeah. That's the thing.
Like, I don't think like I want
Yeah,
to do that in
yeah,
my life. Like, I have better things.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's like the hard balance of like there's stuff where you want to get better while you're playing, but you don't want to like spend extra time getting better.
It's whatever.
Yeah, I
I
get
have
you.
other things to do.
Yeah. All right. You want to talk about anime? We are an
I
hour in.
I mean, the only thing I've been watching is like JoJo's
Oh, okay.
and like just been catching up, but
Uh,
it hasn't been anything much.
I have not been watching anime.
Anything else you've been
Uh,
watching?
I finished season one of The Orville. I don't remember
Oh,
if I talked to you about it. It's kind of like it's by the guy who makes Family Guy.
oh, interesting.
So that guy's the guy who voices like Peter and Brian and Stewie, Seth MacFarlane. He's like the main
Hmm.
character. It's very Star Trek inspired, but with like you can tell when Seth MacFarlane writes a joke because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's one of his jokes. It'll be something like he has like he's the captain of this starship, and he'll be in his office and he has like this like doubt like very human moment with someone, and then they're like, what is that? And he's like, it's Kermit the Frog. And he's like,
Nice.
what is that? And he's like, he explains like what a frog is to the alien, and he's like, he's a very inspirational leader. So silly stuff like that, but it's very Star Trek inspired in that like it questions like ethics and you know, what you think, like your sense of right and wrong and stuff.
Interesting.
So I'm like, dude, this is like the original Star Trek. I love this show because I know like the current Star Trek show is like super dark and gritty, and they're just like,
Hmm.
you know,
Like different.
PG-13 Star Trek. So I'm like, I don't want to watch that. I'll watch this. But yeah, other than that, oh yeah, do you have Netflix?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Darn. There's a also, are you interested in watching a reality show?
What's it called?
I think Terrace House. Have you heard of
Mm,
it?
I have not.
Uh, it's very interesting. It's they did there was an American show similar to this like a long time ago called The Real World, where like you just they stuck a bunch of people in a house and they just live together.
Interesting.
So in the Japanese one, or in the Japanese show Terrace House, it's like three dudes and three girls. They live in this like, for Japan, like this very expensive house, or like this huge house where it's like, it costs like millions of dollars, and they're just like, yo, cameras are on, go. So like, and then they get, basically it's like rent free, and then they get paid, and they get a stipend to like go take people out and do stuff. So like the original show is just like, yo, what happens if we put, you know, three guys and three girls that are like 18 plus in a house? How do they interact? But it
Huh.
it ended up being like a dating show.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So like they've gone, so the first series, it's gone through four series. So they like each series is like a different location. So the first series was kind of like outside of Tokyo but near Tokyo. And
Okay.
so that went on for like 2 years, and then I guess people stopped watching it, or like they ran out of money for it. And so Netflix was like, "Yo, this thing is amazing. We'll co-produce it." So so Netflix picked it up, and then they moved to a house near Tokyo, and then that season went for a year, or that series went for a year, and then they were like, "Yo, we're Netflix. We're gonna take it to Hawaii." So they had it for a year there, and then they were like, "We're gonna take this to the northern part of Japan, where it's like all foresty and stuff." And that series just ended. So the cool thing about it is like you live in the house, but you live your regular life besides living in the house. So like it's like that kind of interaction. So like, you know how there's like Big Brother and stuff where you go on the reality show as like a contestant, and you can't, like, you're basically blocked from outside of like the real world.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they live in the real world. Everything's normal except they just live in this house.
Huh.
So it's like you get to see people's lives and stuff. It's very
Huh.
interesting.
Why not just have a roommate like a regular person? This
Yeah.
is just
Well,
like,
the show ended up being, because it's like super popular. Like a lot of models and stuff and like
uh,
professionals try to get on, so like they can, and most of them they're like, I'm here to find love, but really they're
oh,
just like there to boost their profile. But it's very interesting because you get to like see Japanese people live life.
I mean, it's alright.
Yeah. And the cool thing is like when you're like, yeah, I'm out, I want out, they're like, okay, you can leave, and then they'll replace you. So yeah, it's one of those where it's like you gotta watch a couple episodes to see if you like it.
uh,
So yeah, the new series is coming out like next week, I think. So
huh.
I'm excited for that.
No. Do
So
I really want to? Man, shows and like entertainment takes actually so much time.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I'll send you the link to the original one. Watch a couple episodes and see if you like it. The original one, in my opinion, is like the best because it's like the most wholesome. Because it was like no show in Japan was like it before, so people weren't on there to be like attention whores. They were just like, "Yo, I've only lived with my parents. What is it like to live with like roommates and stuff?"
why?
So cool stuff like that, I guess, or like those interactions. I don't know. It sounds weird until you, oh shoot, it sounds weird until you watch it. So you should give it a try and give me an update.
So, I don't know, man.
Just,
You
just,
got
tr-
so weird.
just trust me. Watch a couple episodes and you'll be like, it's for me or it's not.
Alright.
And then I'll try to catch up on some anime. And I'll report back to you. All right. I guess it's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
This is podcast number 26.
Oh, pretty good.
All right. And
Yeah.
see ya.